Hey everyone, Greg Cazillo from Cazillo.com. Welcome to Keep Shooting Monday, number 56, a very snowy version of Keep Shooting Monday. As you see, it's snowing and they're calling for like 8 inches or something like that of snow today. So I said, you know what, let's put the camera out on the porch, do something a little bit different, even though it's a little cold out and I only have short sleeves on. That's just the way it goes. What I do for you guys, jeez. So today on the show, I am going to talk about two things. Number one is going to be shooting in the snow, and it just so happens that these rules also apply to when it's really warm out and shooting on the beach. The other thing that I'm going to talk about today is the black and white photo assignment winner. So there are some really good ones. I actually ended up choosing 5 of those. So let's get right into it. Number one, shooting in the snow. What do you need to know to shoot in the snow? There's two main things. Number one is protecting your equipment. When you're out in the snow, especially when it's actually snowing, you need to worry about making sure that your camera and your lens don't get wet. Even if it's a sealed body, personally, I would still put something on top of it. I am a huge fan of the Think Tank Hydrophobia series rain covers. They're awesome covers. I think they work really well. I have 2 of them, one for my 70-200, one of them for my 300mm lens. Awesome covers. They work really well. If you want to see some more details about camera protection, you can check out this video that I did last year. The second point is your exposure. You have to have a good exposure. When you're out on the beach, when you're out in the snow, your camera is going to underexpose a little bit. So you need to increase your exposure a touch. If you're using an auto exposure mode like aperture priority or shutter priority, something like that, you can use the exposure compensation. But if not, if you're not using that mode, then if you're in a manual mode, the best thing to do is just to change your exposure a hair. As I'm getting very snowed on, I'm going to move over a little bit. So those are the 2 tips for shooting in the snow. Next up, our black and white photo assignment winners. So there were a few questions that I sent over to Epson that I thought I would answer, or at least address in a longer form video. There were 3 big ones. Number one, optimum PPI settings, which was a discussion from my DPI question from a couple of weeks ago, video a couple weeks ago. The grayscale option that I couldn't find on the Mac versus the PC, and then paper and jamming issues with matte paper when it's loading. So first one's the PPI settings. What they say is the native resolution of the printer is 180 PPI or 180 or 360 PPI are gonna be optimal. And again, this is for printing your photos on your printer at home. Whether if you are sending them out to somewhere else to be printed, like Miller's or somewhere like that, you know, one of those, I forget some of the names of some of the other bigger print houses that are out there. Anyway, each one is going to be different, so you're going to want to ask them and see what they say. But as far as your Epson printers are concerned, 180 PPI or 360 if you want to double it and make it a little bit higher. But they also do mention here that with the very small droplet sizes of the R2000 and some of the newer printers, anything over 270 PPI, you're not going to notice a difference. Personally, I have always had it at 240, but I might do some tests and see if I like it or see if I even notice a difference. I doubt that I even will with that 240. Anything over that 180 I think will be best. But they do say typically it's best to use 360 or 270, basically factors of 90 for prints ranging up to 8x10 or letter, and then 180 PPI for 11x14, 13x19, and then 13 times up for your panos. So I'm going to post this, all these replies directly to the web so you can see the exact wording of this. Next thing is the grayscale option. The issue is that the driver is smart enough to know if I had chosen for the color to be managed by the printer or not. Since I'm in Lightroom, I choose the managed by printer, managed by the software, by Lightroom for the color profile. That's why I was not seeing that black and white option, or the grayscale option, and so that made a difference there. The last thing is loading issues with matte paper. This is just regular bond paper, but typically what you're going to do when you go to load a stack of paper is you would fan it. All right, you take that paper and you fan it and get some air in there. What they're saying is to, what do they call it here? They call it jogging the paper. In order to jog the stack of paper, you would bend it like this, hold the ends here and here, okay, and then you get this, you get the stack like that, and then move it around, and maybe do that a couple of times, okay? I'm guessing that gets more air in between the sheets on both ends instead of just on one end rather than the jog. You are, like I said, you're bending, and then you are making a stack like that, and then you're going back and forth in order to get more air in between each sheet. And they also said make sure that you are running one of their cleaning sheets in between, say, a couple times a year maybe. Make sure you run those inkjet cleaning sheets so that it does clean the rollers, because the dust from the paper sticks on those rollers. This was a very successful assignment. A lot of people really enjoyed this black and white assignment, as did I, seeing all the different photos that got posted. Number 5 here is from Thomas Clemens. Love the photo, love the extra, the long exposure time. He has good framing, kind of a frame in a frame kind of a thing. Good rule of thirds, good depth of field, foreground, middle ground, background, like the black and white edit. Really cool photo from Thomas. Number 4, and by the way, I picked 5 images today. Litchfield Cathedral by Dave Clark. Really cool photo. The only thing I'm not sure about, was it this one? Yeah, this one. The only thing I'm not sure about is the additional stars that he added to it. Sometimes I'm a fan of that, sometimes I'm not. I've seen a few too many people doing that lately, so I think it's a little bit overused. So be very, very selective about when you use that and post that. Number 3 is Edward Episcopo. I hope I said that right. With this photo from Fredericksburg, Virginia, of this cannon as I'm really getting snowed on. Really cool photo. Like the angle, nice low angle. Got a good sky, good black and white range. Works really well. Number 2 is this one by Lance. Unfortunately, we don't have the name of the bridge here, but it's still a really cool one. Long exposure. You have a nice, a really nice smooth river there in the foreground. It was a nice day, and sky's really impressive. Really cool photo from Lance. Number 1, though, was not a scenic. It ended up being this photo by Francis called Portrait of Khan. Such a cool black and white. This is one of those images that you just want to see really big so that you can see all the detail. Such an awesome photo, really nice and close. You can see that he took it in the studio because you can actually see the umbrellas in the eyes of the cat, so the umbrella reflection. So how he got him to sit there for so long, I don't know. Personally, I'm not a big cat photographer, but apparently Francis is, because he did an excellent job of this photo portrait of Khan. So just the tight angle and the black and white edit and the detail, and when you zoom in on it, you can really see all the different hairs and the whiskers and stuff. Really, really cool photo. I hope that it wasn't a crop, that he really shot it that way. I think that is going to be it today, because I am really cold. I wanted to keep this a short show for you. Thanks, guys. Keep shooting. See you.